Welcome back to the Groucho Orlov Show. It is Wednesday, February 8th, 2023. Going through these comics, trying to, got a lot of books I'm inserting into the collection, so right now I'm in the G's. I'm on Gru the Wanderer, the Marvel version, and I was trying to show you every single comic. I think I'm going to try to speed things up, honestly. This looks like this is a glow-in-the-dark cover. You see how Gru is kind of opaque looking? I think this is a glow-in-the-dark. Let's see if that... Well, I'm not going to shut off the lights. Trust me, it probably glows. Gru the Wanderer. It's a wonderful comic. You can buy it pretty cheaply. Let's see if there's any good covers. I mean, they're all good covers, but yeah, that's pretty cool. This is kind of like his Red Sonja, this character here. Yeah, this is a very long-running comic. I'm actually got off work early today, Wednesday, and tonight at 7, I'll be going on live on the Graphic Man channel for the 4-Color Fossil show, and I thought maybe I can find, look at the detail on that, maybe I can find some comics I can show on that program tonight. Alright, so lots of Gru comics. There are collections, the Gru Chronicles. Sergio Aragonés, of course, is most famous for Mad Magazine, and these were his something he did from the 80s through, I guess, today. The Gru Chronicles. These are kind of thicker collections of the stuff. All right, what's going to be after Gru? Oh, this 1990s version of Guardians of the Galaxy. And these are things I picked out of the quarter, 50-cent bin, dollar bin, whatever. There used to be quarter and 50-cent bins in the old days. So this is really more the old... Guardians of the Galaxy before the version that's known to the movie-going public. Yeah. This was one of those 90s covers with the, look at that. That sums up the 1990s. Actually, that cover's not as bad as most 1990s things, I have to admit. So I've got a couple of copies of that. This is the Guardians of the Galaxy that you're aware of. This must have come out right about the time as the first movie. The James Gunn movie and the sequel and the Christmas special I really enjoyed. Is that the same one I just showed you? I think, yeah, it is. I must have 2 copies. I don't know. What do I know? So it looks like when the movie came out, I tried to catch up and like, well, is this comic is really? There's actually a good comic coming out today, and I guess I tried it out. It looks like for a few issues, that's about it. But Gumby's Winter Fun Special, which actually needs to be in the independent boxes in the other room. Now this is some great stuff. Well, you're gonna build your own little play set there. This comic, Gumby and Pokey go to hell. Kind of a strange concept. Anyway, I'll pull this out because that needs to be in a separate location. Okay, so what's next? Oh, this is nice. It's a 20 center. It's always nice to see these. Reno Jones and Kid Cassidy Gunhawks. And then we're moving into Hanna-Barbera. Now I have Charlton Comics are separate. Gold Key Comics are separate. Both of those companies did Hanna-Barbera adaptations. But Marvel and DC both individually also tried with mixed results. Marvel in the late 70s tried to do some Hanna-Barbera comics, and it didn't last a long time. But anyway, these are what I do is I just put everything that's Hanna-Barbera under H. And I don't know, it seems to work for me, but you know, this is Marvel's attempt in the late 70s. That's actually art by Dan Spiegel. Marvel got Scott Shaw to do the art for this Undercover Elephant, which is a character I sure don't remember. Anyway, these this has the Herculoids and Space Ghost. And Dynomutt. There's a really good special on last Saturday with Dr. Silverage talking about the Hanna-Barbera superhero shows. Here's a Space Ghost story drawn by Alex Toth. I always pronounced it Toth, but I've heard everybody on the internet saying Toth, so they're probably right. What do I know? I would look at names when I was a kid reading in the comics, and I would pronounce them how I thought they were pronounced, and I had no one around to correct me, so I didn't know. People, look at this. These probably have some value. It seems like I heard someone talking about these books. Like, here's a Herculoid story with art by Dave Stevens. I don't think people know about this. This may be under the radar to the average comic book idiot. But yeah, this is good stuff. So it's called Hanna-Barbera TV Stars, and I've got issues 2, 3, and then here's 6. No, this is a different one. This is Hanna-Barbera's Dynomutt. That was Hanna-Barbera's TV Stars. Now, this is pretty much all Dynomutt. It looks like Marvel put some care into the production of these books by hiring decent artists, which wasn't often done. Here's Hanna-Barbera Spotlight, number 1 with Huckleberry Hound. I probably shouldn't be telling you about these because I probably want to seek out the other ones, but once I start talking about these, then they all, not that I have that many people watching. Yeah, there's some good art in these. Hanna-Barbera's Laugh Olympics, and that's the last of these Marvel. I don't think they lasted more than maybe 6 months. Look, this sums up the 70s. There's a Shogun Warriors ad. And then look at these 70s icons that you can get posters of. Cheryl Tiegs, No, that's Cheryl Ladd, rather. There's Linda Carter, Susan Anton, the McNichols. Oh, God, I remember that. Yeah, whatever happened to Christy McNichol and was it Jimmy McNichol? Forgot about those people. Yeah, there's a remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers ad. Okay, so then we come to this weird, from about 10, 12 years ago. I don't remember when that was, but Lone Star Comics was still in operation. I remember that before they closed their brick and mortar stores. Put the Marvel ones back in. They, DC got the Hanna-Barbera rights and started cranking out these very strange books. Actually, some of these are older. I see that. This, what the hell does that say? This might have been from 2005 when DC did a Space Ghost book. Here's another copy that's not bagged. The interior art's done very realistically. It's not done really to look like the Saturday morning cartoons. Doesn't really look like it matches the tone. The covers, Alex Ross, obviously Alex Ross cover. This looks like they're attempting to do some kind of origin story, which one thing about it is I really don't think that was necessary. The Hanna-Barbera shows plunged you in and expected you to use your imagination, like who Space Ghost is and who his teenage assistants are and all that, but I guess DC felt like they had to go back and tell you all that. The covers are magnificent. The interiors just don't, I don't know, man. It doesn't seem to capture the innocence of the cartoons. Okay, so that was that, and then that was when comic books cost $2.95. When comics were $4, Hanna-Barbera was doing this. I think it was during that time of the New 52 Future Quest, and they tried to. I was gonna say this artwork's really bad. This is kind of a beat up. I got it from the Dollar Bin. That's Dan Parent, who does all these real self-aware covers for Archie now, where he, he's all right. He's all right. His politics are very left-wing. That's all right. Somebody's got to like Joe Biden. Then they did this Scooby-Doo comic where it's post-apocalyptic, and picked some of these up in the Dollar Bin. I can't say I've read them yet. Maybe someday I'll read them while I'm in the nursing home or something. Okay, hold on. These aren't in any order, looks like, because here's another one of those Space Ghost comics. Space Ghost 3. And again, it's got a great Alex Ross cover and this computerized artwork inside that, I don't know. Then here's issue 4. I may have all of these, actually. I guess it's showing how he met kids. What the hell? Yeah, it's this modern type of comics. That's an ad for some video game. Yeah. Honestly, the covers are fantastic. The interiors look to, I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why Space Ghost is Space Ghost. I don't want to know why, that Darth Vader was once this little kid. I don't give a shit. But anyway, wonderful covers. I'm glad these comics exist, if only for these covers that Alex Ross did for them. Yeah, it's very computerized looking art. Okay, so could that be the whole run of DC's Amazing Space Ghost? It could be. All right. Then we have DC's attempt to do the Flintstones. Okay. So you see, they're not trying to make them look like the animation. And then they do a team up with Superman and Top Cat. Try to make Top Cat look more like a real cat. So, let's see what else we got in here. Dastardly and Muttley. Okay, well, let's try to get these in some kind of order. Does it really matter, though? Okay, here's one of those Flintstones comics. I guess they have different variant covers. I don't know how this works. Okay, so this was Future Quest 6. This must be Future Quest 2. Oh, wow. This is a Steve Rude cover, so that's really good. All these great artists that were big fans of these shows, looks like they were able to recruit them to do covers. Here's Future Quest 4. But this wasn't a successful line of comics. It didn't, I think they're just in dollar bins. This is Future Quest 12, I guess. I hate when they put the title in tiny print. That's like the new trend at DC, I guess. Crap. Here's Herculoids number 11. Or is it Future Quest? I have no idea what this even means. In fact, I'm getting sick of this shit. This is DC in association with Cartoon Network. And they're, it looks more like actual animation style art. I was going to try to alphabet... Shit. Another Dastardly and Muttley. Where Dastardly is like a Muttley is like a humanoid dog. The Jetsons is done very realistically. Here's another Scooby Apocalypse comic. So let me put that with this other. That's Scooby Apocalypse 2. A lot of this is stuff I got from dollar bins. I just haven't read it yet. Future Quest 6. Future Quest 5. And then this is an Adam Strange Future Quest. I guess Future Quest is a reference to Johnny Quest. Anyway, incredible. So, what else is in here? So how have you guys been? Okay, here's a Birdman comic. This is the Jetsons 4. It's obviously Judy Jetson. Very strange, man, these people. Okay, here's Mitor. There's another one of those Space Ghost comics from the dollar bin. Flintstones. This is Hunters and Gatherers. Yeah, instead of men and women. Now it's, well, it was birthing people. Now it's chest feeders. You know, these just degrading names for real women. First they were calling them, well, they call them cis women. Then birthing people, uterus owners, chest feeders, just anything they can to degrade the actual real women. Okay, so this is the later attempt to do Space Ghost. It looks completely computer generated. I don't know. That cover's a little bit better, but still not. Then they did this really odd thing, man, which is kind of interesting. And because, you know, Wacky Races is the cars are amazing. But if you watch the show, it's got great design, but you hear that what they're doing is they're trying to turn Wacky Races into the Road Warrior. And look at that haunted car just filled with skeletons. It's so it's called Wacky Raceland. That's issue 4 or 5. Here's issue 1. I guess I have 2 copies of 1. Okay. What is this shit? Okay. We've already seen that. Saw that. Saw that. Saw that. Oh, there's more. Okay. So anyway, this is why I have all the that's Wacky Raceland. Oh, there's hear the horses outside? They're probably already gone. That's like an Amish person or family going down this cobblestone street with a horse and buggy. That's really cool, man, I have to say. Okay, here's Wacky Raceland number 3. Number 2. Okay. The Flash and Speed Buggy. That's not the Flash I remember. This new Flash with all the energy, lightning bolts going around him. That's not what I remember. Okay. We got to get out of this soon. Flintstones, okay. Adam Strange and Future Quest. Oh, another Wacky Raceland. Oh, we've seen this one already. Okay. We've seen that. Green Lantern and Huckleberry Hound. Look at this. Look at Huckleberry Hound. This could be an alternate cover, I guess. Here's a Dastardly and Muttley. Birdman. Future Quest number 1. And it looks like that's the end of my Hanna-Barbera Marvel DC collection. Neither company was successful with it. So now anyone that tries to adapt Hanna-Barbera properties tends to want to turn it into satire or vulgarness. There's currently a show called Velma where she's lesbian, and they've made Scooby-Doo a girl, like a human girl, just all kinds of shit. So here's Edgar Allan Poe's. Oh, and then they degrade. This has got Richard Corbin art. Haunt of Horror. This is a Marvel adult comic from their Max adult series, based on The Haunt of Horror was a Marvel magazine, and this is a little sign that used to be in the old house, and a little there was a little tiny door in a closet that led to the attic, and I had that on the door. Okay, Hawkeye. Looks like I have 2 copies of this. I don't know. The High Hard Shaft. Is that a dirty reference? I don't know. Probably. The perverts that make these comics. I'm so sick of this shit. Can't wait to get through these comics, and then I'm just going to talk about other stuff besides. I'm so sick of this shit. I really just like that. Shit. Okay, Hawkman. The Hawkman comics mostly are in other boxes because they're Silver Age. Here's issue 6 from when comics cost 75 cents. Here's Hawkman number 16. And then we have this mini-series, The Shadow War of Hawkman. We got to move quicker. These are, you all have these books already. You don't even need to see them. There's 2. It looks like I'm missing 3. Here's 4. It'd be nice if I had 3, but I don't. And, you know, actually the art is fantastic. It looks like Alfredo Alcala. Maybe I do need to find 3. Wow. Yeah, I probably do need to find issue 3. This artwork's really good. I'd forgotten. That's really good. Okay. Official Hawkman Index. Number 1. These aren't even put out by DC. These are put out by ICG. What is this? Hawkwoman and Hawkman, number 1. Very recently made, based on the artwork's not terrible. Who's responsible for this artwork? I don't know. It's really kind of hard to. It's one of these modern comics where it's black all the way to the edge. I guess to simulate a movie-going experience. Oh, boy. How about that State of the Union last night? That was just really good. Wow. Okay. A Heathcliff comic. Patsy Walker Hellcat. It's a Son of Satan comic. I probably should have this with S for Son of Satan, but I have it under H because they called it Hellstorm this time. And I open it and I immediately see nudity. So I know it's a product of a different time than, you know, because I kept trying to get back into comics. I kept saying, well, I love comics. I really do. I want to. But in the 90s, I kept trying to, this is 1993, I kept trying to get back in, and it wasn't me that had changed, it was them. This is a British comic, Marvel Comics UK, Hell's Angel from the Dollar Bin, some kind of X-Men spinoff. Oh, now we get to something cool. DC's Hercules Unbound. I have issue 2. I have issue 4. I guess I didn't buy odd issues. I'd like to have 1 and 3. That would be amazing. The highlight of my entire life. Here's number 5. Well, look, I did get an odd issue. I just get what I find, you know, when I come across it. Oh, this is some Wally Wood art. Number 8. You can immediately see the influence, the Wally Wood there. Walt Simonson and Wally Wood, artist. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, Hercules is a character. Anyone can do a Hercules series. You cannot copyright the name Hercules. You might be able to copyright a particular look of Hercules, but since Hercules was a demigod that the ancient Greeks worshipped, there were entire cities named after him, like Herculaneum, which was destroyed by that volcano. Can't really... So Marvel has a Hercules, DC has a Hercules, Charlton has a Hercules. Probably everybody. Speaking of Marvel, this is a, I believe, 1980s limited series about their Hercules, who spun out of the Thor comic in the 60s. Oh boy, you'd be the most popular kid in your entire campus if you had one of these. Who does the art in this? This is during the time that Masters of the Universe had become big. Here's what? I am confused. Okay, this is Hercules, Prince of Power, #1 of a 4-issue 60-cent era. And here's another Hercules, Prince of Power, also 60-cent era, apparently. Oh, Megaforce, wasn't that a great movie? They figure, well, what was that idiot? Hal Needham, I think, was the stunt coordinator on Starsky and Smokey and the Bear. And so they figure, let's give him his own, let's let him direct movies. They let him direct this and a movie called The Villain with Schwarzenegger and man, it was Kirk Douglas and Schwarzenegger. Kirk Douglas played Wile E. Coyote and Schwarzenegger played the Roadrunner. It was a Western, but it was basically a Roadrunner cartoon. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Okay, so there's now it's so confusing. Obviously there are 2 Hercules Marvel comics like very close to each other. Okay, we move to Luke Cage Hero for Hire. I filed this under H, so it goes right after Hercules. I don't have issue 1. So it was Luke Cage. It was Hero for Hire. It always said Hero for Hire inside the book. Then it became Power Man and Power Man and Iron Fist. Okay, so there's issue 4. You can see how it says Hero for Hire up here. So there was a TV series made out of this, but it really didn't capture the tone of this comic, which is amazing. And if they had made that Luke Cage series that was on Netflix feel like a 1970s blaxploitation movie, like these comics capture the tone of, it would have been amazing. But they just didn't. For one thing, keep them in the costume. But they never can do that. They're just too afraid. It'll be too comic booky. They won't accept it. Here's number 6. These again are probably things you all have. Again, my collection with isn't that amazing. Number 7. Oh wow. That looks like Marie Severin art. Let's see if it is. I love Marie Severin. She had to have something to do with it. George Tuska and Billy Graham. Yeah, when he was Billy Graham, you've heard of him, the famous televangelist. He helped with the art in this issue. 8. Well, I'm trying to find stuff to show tonight on Graphic Man. So far, I haven't found anything that would knock their socks off. 7, 8. Then I'm missing 9, 10, and 11. Here's 12. Look at 13. These really were spectacular comics. I need to get these bagged and boarded. Yes, I know that. But that will be another day. Yeah, lots of fun. These comics were lots of fun. 13. And that's what comics are supposed to be. Here's 14, again from the wonderful 20-cent era. This artwork's great. Look at that. How beautiful that artwork is. Billy Graham, co-scripter, artist. Yeah, Billy Graham is a great artist. I need to find out more about Billy Graham. Obviously, he's not the same Billy Graham that... Oh, wow. What a surprise. In the back of this great Luke Cage comic, you turn the page, and what do you find but a wonderful reprint of a Bill Everett Submariner story. This gorgeous artwork. This is what the Submariner was supposed to be, not what was thrown at us in that movie that just came out. Oh, I have 2 copies of that issue. Fantastic. I wonder if that's is it a one-shot thing? Yeah, yeah, it's not in this. Look at this. Look at all this great stuff coming out back then. The World's Unknown, Savage Tales, Man-Thing, Kazar. Really, the 12-cent era and the 20-cent era are really, I think the 12 things kind of, was it just me, or did things get a little weaker during the 15-cent era? And then with the 20-cent era, maybe just because that's when I started buying comics right by that time. But shit, I don't know what to tell you. I got to get more of these comics, but the fever hits you when you look at these comics. But then how am I ever going to be able to afford? I can't even afford gasoline or food, hardly. But I've got all these books. Oh, what a drop off on art, man. Look at this. Suddenly it drops to giant panels. It looks like a coloring book that someone colored in. All of a sudden it went from that great art of Billy Graham. Ooh, somebody cut out the shit. The yeah, be careful of these 25-cent books. Somebody cut out the value stamp, which doesn't affect the story in this particular comic, but it certainly affects the comic. They cut into this great ad for Dracula Lives and Vampire Tales, and it doesn't look like I have an extra copy of this one. I just have... Shit. You know, I would always buy this when I found it, but I never found it that often. You know, I was always looking through back issue bins all through the years. No way. No way. No way. What? Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. This has to be a mistake. Okay, well, I guess I have to believe my eyes. It looks like from issue 20, this just can't be right. There must be another box. How do I go from issue 20? I'll have to look on mycomicshop.com and see what the covers look like. I go from issue 20 to 42 when it's now called Luke Cage Power Man instead of Hero for Hire. 20, that's a lot of issues to be missing. I almost think I must have a stash of these books in another box somewhere. This is very disturbing. 47. The artwork's getting better than that one issue that we just looked at. I should have looked to see who that artist was. This artist is George Tuska, and then it says B. Smith, inker. I don't think that's Barry Smith. Ooh, look at that Not Brandeck looking guy. Yeah. Marie Severin did this ad for Crazy, and there's the Human Scorch and the Thung from Not Brandeck, because she did a lot of the art in Not Brandeck. It's right out of the 60s. Okay. And here's where 48 Iron Fist pops up. And then by issue 51, they're, you know, co-billed in the comic. Power Man and Iron Fist. And the artwork's really good. So this is Mike Zeck, penciler. Ernie Chan, inker. Of course it's good. Ernie Chan, Mike Zeck. Okay, let me see what that one artist was that was where the value stamp was gone. That was what, 19? Was it? Yeah. George Tuska artist, Vince Coletta inker. Yeah, that just looked like a rush job is what it was. Not that those guys are bad. Here's 52. Mike Zeck pencils, Ricardo Villamonte inks. 53. You know, it's just a kind of a perfect combination because you've got this in the inner cities in the 70s, the movies that predominantly filled the old movie theaters were blaxploitation movies and kung fu movies. So you've combined the two popular trends, kung fu and blaxploitation heroes, into this comic. I think I'm going to skip over the rest of this run because the interesting stuff I've already seen, and I don't have any new... The next thing I've got to put in is some House of Mystery books. So let me scoot forward to that. So anyway. Yeah. Look at that. Look how well drawn that girl is there. The cringing girl. Great artwork. Fantastic. The early Hero for Hire comics are great. I'm sure I have a book somewhere that reprints the early issues. Shit. The early issues, I'm pretty sure I do. I must. One of those phone book style books that, I don't know, what do I know? Oh, I just got 300 books back from CGC. I was going to unbox those. Would you like to see that real quick? I think they're all 9.8s. Let's see. Okay, here's the final issue of the series. And this is something they did a few years ago, where it flips back and forth from the original cover from 1972 to this, whatever that is, modern stuff. Then there was, okay, this was a Richard Corbin doing a dirty version of Luke Cage. And Richard Corbin is always a great artist. But in this, he's been recruited to you do this. See, this is Marvel being dirty. Which is probably more, this is probably more what actually inspired that Netflix series, to be honest with you. And then this is a very recent, I don't know how old, comics are $3 at this point. Heroes for Hire, number 4. Then there's this comic, I guess I got it for the Catwoman drawing on the cover, although her face is pretty hideous. It's called Hitman, number 16. I guess that's Hitman. Looks like some obnoxious kind of hero that all the Deadpool fans would like. History of the DC Universe. You know, just kind of like a storybook that tells the history of the DC Universe. Here's Hit Girl from the Kick-Ass series. So this is a Marvel adult comic. All right, now we're getting into the good stuff. Okay, one of the oldest comics in my collection that I bought as a kid. No, I bought this later. I owned this comic when I was like 5. This is not my childhood copy. I know that for a fact. I can tell. But I remember owning this. So this is House of Mystery number 205. This one is, well, shit. #206. This is, I know I bought this as a kid, but I think this is my actual childhood copy because I always put my childhood copy second. So this is, this one's pretty beat up. 206. Look at this wonderful Bernie Wrightson illustration, 1971. Didn't take the comic industry long once the Comics Code relaxed its standards on horror comics to crank out horror comics. And here's an ad for the first issue of Swamp Thing. Pretty cool. Okay. So now We have House of Mystery 209. This is again a childhood copy. I really wish I'd bagged and boarded these, but anyway. Maybe I'll show these on tonight's show. Because, you know, when I upload this, it will probably take several hours to upload it. So hopefully it won't go, this show won't pop up right in the middle of the live broadcast with, because I'll notice sometimes it'll do that. I'll have a show pop up in the middle of a Graphic Man show, and then I'll notice, I'll flip on my phone, I'll notice, oh no, people are watching it. Why aren't they watching the live show and watching that later? And anyway, that makes me feel bad when that happens. Yeah, it's like stuff right out of EC. And Joe Orlando from EC was behind, you know, House of Mystery was a horror comic in the 50s, and it turned into kind of a superhero comic in the 60s. There was superhero stories in House of Mystery and Dial H for Hero and stuff. And then when the Comics Code relaxed and you could do horror again, then House of Mystery went to a horror anthology book, very much like the 50s Tales from the Crypt kind of things. These are all childhood copies. There's Alfredo Alcala. The Steve Skeets was a good writer, was a great writer back then. Damn, man. He had for the first issue of Plop. Wow. That was life-changing. And I'm not being sarcastic on that. This is not a childhood copy. This one is pretty beat up. You know, it's really hard. Why don't I have more of these? Because growing up, when I went into comic stores, they didn't ever have horror comics. They just figured they wouldn't sell. They only, this is from my childhood. They would only have superhero comics. Otherwise, if these were in all the comic stores when I was a kid, I would have a complete set of all of these. I never did much mail order, so I would just, whatever they happened to stock at my local comic stores, that's, you know, what I would accumulate. This I remember buying once we moved to San Antonio. Yeah, this is probably 3rd grade. Wow. The wonderful memories in these House of Mystery comics. And then this is House of Mystery 222. Of course, all the guys on Graphic Man show tonight are going to have complete sets of all this. So I won't be showing them anything that will amaze them, but here's another copy of that same issue. What I'm needing to put in is this. I have 2 copies of this. Once Elvira took it over from Kane, and then this art school House of Mystery attempt to revive it. And then I've got to put this Howard the Duck #1 in, which is Howard the Duck, I guess, comes up after House of Mystery. Hopefully I can get all that done in this episode. Okay. This is not easy on the back, man, I'll tell you what. Now, what the fucking heck? Pardon my language, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I see. Why is this one bagged and that one isn't? This is my childhood copy, I'm almost positive, here. And then this one that someone, like, cut up with an X-Acto blade. They used it, like, underneath while they were cutting with an X-Acto blade. That one's got the bag and board. Now explain that to me. 223, 226. Oh, yeah, I remember, like, yesterday buying these 60-cent giant ones, 100 pages. Great stuff. 226. Oh, they're out of order. Here's 224. Okay. 225. Great cover. Yeah, these are all out of weird. These are in 225. Here's another 226. Now, some of the stories are older stories, you can tell in the back, but there's still, in fact, a lot of them you can immediately tell that that's a 50s or early 60s story. But then this you can tell is a new story. Oh, how wonderful. A lot of, it's a Phantom Stranger story. There was so much wonderful reading. The early 70s was so great. It was such a great time to be a little kid. It was a great time, I'm sure, to be in your 20s as a comic collector. I just don't know how people do it now. Maybe they just don't know any better. I think a lot of people don't even read comics. They just get stuff that's already slabbed and then they just put it on their wall. I don't understand it. I can't relate to it. Not being able to open a comic book. Wow. No, this is hurting my back. Oh, here's 228. I think I must have gotten that one somewhat recently. 231. You know it. This is Bernie Wrightson from 1974. It really does kind of feel. It just kind of has a feel of like you're looking at a Graham Ingels EC comic. 220, 231, 233. 235. Okay. Oh, this sucks, man. Oh, man, this is painful. Let me move this whole fucking thing around. That's better. Oh. The things I do for YouTube fame. To be a great YouTube influencer with millions of followers. Well, I got up to 481 people subscribing, and that, I really appreciate it. It's amazing. There's more people have been subscribing the last few days. I remember I started, what was it, about 3 years ago, and I remember how hard it was when I had about 30 subscribers, and how hard it was. I don't remember if it was hard to get to 30 or if it was hard to get to 40. It seemed like I could never get to 40 subscribers. I'd get a few subscribers, and then a few subscribers would leave because I would say that I like Donald Trump or something, and then people, I've got to unsubscribe from this fascist. And then, I don't know. So it's amazing to have 481. I wish I had more, man. 236. This is a great cover. This one's in really crappy shape. It's got someone put a drink down on the back of it. That's what the problem is. Why do people do that? 236. I don't think I got this one when I was a kid. This one's in better shape. This is neither one of these I got as a kid. Oh, there's some Ditko art, but it's such a great cover. Bernie Wrightson captures that EC feel very well. Okay, 236, 245. Well, that Legion of Superheroes movie came out yesterday. I haven't heard anyone online reviewing it. It's an animated feature. If any of you have seen it, then let me know or something down below. And The Ghost of Dead Man's Breach. Great stuff. Wow. 247, 248, 249. I think we're getting towards the end of this box. What? Or are we? No, we're not. 226. Let me pull some of these and put them in the other box, and then I'll have more room. Anyway. Oh, this is when DC went up to dollar comics. And 255, 257, 258. These covers are done by Joe Orlando and Dick Giordano. 259. Yeah, that was the Vampirus of Central Park. $260. I mean, if it upset you that I skipped through a lot of the Gru comics or the Hero for Hire comics, I mean, I could go back and show them all to you, but I just trying to get this done, man. 262. I mean, I just figure you guys already have all those comics. 263. 270. Black Mass. It looks like the Grammys the other night. They apparently had a Black Mass during that. 288. The Piper at the Gates of Hell. Nice. Well, pretty cool. Let's get another box, ladies and gentlemen. Come with me. All right. Whoa, almost fell down. You're getting old, ladies and gentlemen. Well, do you guys know anything about a device called a Chromecast? Because there's stuff I want to record on DVD-R. I want to beam it to my Roku from my portable laptop. And there's this website called Internet Archive. I think it's called internetarchive.org. And this guy has he's put together like a timeline of all the Marvel 60s cartoons. And he's got really good copies. And he's like put Iron Man and Submariner and Hulk, the Grand Tree Lawrence cartoons, and mixed them in with Hanna-Barbera, Fantastic Four, and the Spider-Man cartoons, and created kind of a timeline. Anyway, He's got hours and hours of this stuff. And I wanted to record it. I needed to beam it to my Roku so that I could record it. And so that's why I was reading that a Chromecast would be something I could use. And I looked on Amazon. It looks like a Chromecast is about a $19 device. So I was wondering if you folks out there know anything about that. I'm moving stuff, ladies and gentlemen, to get to this next box. This is the room where I will broadcast from through StreamYard to shit. What the fuck was that? To Graphic Man's channel tonight. This little bottle of liquor is supposed to be held by my. I'll show you next episode. There's a mummy model kit from my childhood. I don't remember what's inside of it, though. Let's see. Hold on. I'll put you down for a moment. Something's in it. But I don't remember what. It's an unboxing, ladies and gentlemen. I can put unboxing in the title of this episode. Oh, it's just a bunch of generic little toys in there. Nothing to see here, ladies and gentlemen. You know where I can put junk. Okay, I think I freed this box enough that I can take it in the other room. Whoa, fuck, cocksucker! Pardon the language, ladies and gentlemen. This Wonder Woman box almost dropped. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, this box feels a little lighter, so oh, good, it has empty space in it, so I can move some of the House of Mystery books from that tightly packed box into this box. This is it's like Christmas morning, ladies and gentlemen. Something wonderful happened. That doesn't happen very often in Joe Biden's America. I like how Joe Biden last night tried to accuse all the House Republicans of wanting to end Social Security and Medicare. And he says, well, here, look it up. Basically, you accuse someone of something, and then you force them to prove that it's not true. And then you basically make them defensive and say, that's an old technique, ladies and gentlemen. But apparently it works with morons. Okay. I mean the less intelligent, the feeble-minded, the cretins. All right. So yeah. Having said that being said, so yeah. Ooh, buddy. Oh, we're going to get into Hulk comics today, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that delightful? Isn't that delightful, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, what do we got here? It's a new iVampire Shocker, number 297. Here it's 298. And this iVampire series ran for a while in House of Mystery. Here's issue 300. #301, 302, 303. Gotham City Comics, if you're watching this, I meant to call you last weekend to get some stuff from my hold pile, and I'm just going to have to wait till the 20th. If I can't be spending any money. That Chromecast, I'm going to have to wait till the 20th to get that too. I'm hoping that that stuff won't be taken down by Disney. If Disney finds out that archive.org, someone put up the 1966 Marvel cartoons, they'll force it, because they don't want people to know about those cartoons, because they're so much better than the movies they're making, and plus they're politically incorrect. You know, they got the Mandarin and the you know, the original 1960s version. This one, 307, feels like it has some moisture damage. Okay, 308. 309. And let me know when that there's a new Great Garloo toy being made. I think it's real tiny, but it's he ordered some, and at Gotham City Comics in Mesa, Arizona. Those of you that live near there, make sure you go patronize that shop. Anyway, it's a Great Garloo, but it's kind of on all fours like a gorilla coming at you, and I want to put that next to my Great Garloo and my Son of Garloo. 312. See, by this point, iVampire had become big and House of Mystery had become small. Well, it was already that way. I guess you noticed that. 313. So this was during the 60-cent era. These great. That's a great Mike Kaluta cover here. 314. 315, another Kaluta cover. 316. Wow, this is just terrific. 317. Oh, wow. The final chapter, 319. And then 320. Oh, this is when Superman 3 came out, so that would date it to about 1986, maybe, I'm thinking. Yeah, so I remember seeing Superman 3 with some friends of mine around that time when I was in college. It was terrible. No, not Superman. I'm thinking Superman 4. Superman 3, okay, this is, that dates it to, 1982, 83, Superman 3. The first Superman came out in 78. The second Superman 2 came out in 81. Superman 3 was the one with Richard Pryor. That was 83. And then the really bad Superman 4. That one was later. 321, House of Mystery. Final issue. Kane's leaving the house. I've got 2 copies of that. Okay, and then they brought it back with issue 1 with Elvira's House of Mystery. Okay. And then there's issue 2. Issue 3. There's a really good one coming up with Dave Stevens art. 4. Well, these are all good, but that one's especially good. 5. 6. 10. Okay, this is the one with the Dave Stevens art. It was slightly altered. Originally, he had her riding the broom with it between her legs, and they altered the art so she's kind of to the side of the broom, just to make it less, but the original art, it was between her legs. Anyway, it's Dave Stevens, the great artist. Oh, I forgot, House of Secrets is next. So, what a treat. Wow. That is really EC looking. House of Secrets. There was a time in the early 70s when the comic book stands were covered in Not just superhero comics, but there were lots of these type horror comics. There were the romance comics. There were Harvey comics. That's 100. This is a fake copy of 92, the first Swamp Thing. You can see it has a UPC code, $3.99. It's a replica, or facsimile, whatever you want to call it. Okay. 106. Beautiful. I'm telling you, Bernie Wrightson was one of the greats. There he is. Now, this is the comic that Abel is in charge of. House of Mystery was Cain. So they're like Bible stories, Cain and Abel, right? 107. And then you could read about the mighty Samson over at Gold Key Comics. And you could bring your House of Mystery, House of Secrets, and your Mighty Samson comics to Sunday school, and the Sunday school teacher will approve of what you're doing with your time, reading about these biblical characters. These are childhood copies here, which, yes, should be in bags and boards. I'm aware of that, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. This artwork, it's pretty rad, man. It's pretty tubular. 112. I remember buying this like it was yesterday at the PX. Since I bought it at the PX, I wonder if it has... No. Mark Jewelers insert, for all of you Mark Jewelers insert lovers. 113. This really does look like Tales from the Crypt comic. Oh, this was a gift from Micah from Graphic Man. He sent this back when I first met him. He sent this as a gift. He must have had duplicates of it from November of 1973. That's the cool thing. He has it all printed out back here. That's how the cool comic book people on YouTube, they've got a cheat sheet, or they've written all the details. That's how they can tell you the authors and the artist and when it came out, and tell you the issue number without me looking like, what does it say? I'm too unprofessional. 114, this is a childhood copy. I've shown all these before, and he probably watched one of those episodes back when I used to live in the old country back in Texas, and saw that I had that missing one. That's great, man. If you guys can help a brother out, complete my collection. If you've got duplicates, I will promote your store. I will praise you to the moon. I'm just a poor son of a bitch, man. I just living on retirement, hoping they'll